In today's show,
a lot of fine line tattoos or cyber sigilism. I know that you're probably within this age.
You're gonna wreck your brains now.
So
what is that?
It's edgy tribal.
It is edgy tribal.
And how you call it?
Cyber sigilism.
What's that? That fucked up tribal thing?
Yes.
Paul,
So you know, like
I'm done.
Venom.
Let's talk about tattoo styles. Cortez, what you think about tattoo styles?
I think they all suck. No. What you call it? What do I think about tattoo styles?
Yeah, let's go a little bit over where it's coming from, how we get to all these new trends of styles, designs, and whatever you want to call it.
I think the new tattoo styles are like food in jail.
Okay.
You know how you're not able to
That's
eat
deep.
certain
That's deep
you're
as
not able
fuck.
to eat certain foods in jail because you have no access to them.
Uh-huh.
So you have to try to make them yourself, like goulash.
For example, like when you say that, when you refer to that comparison, you're talking about for example, what specific style?
Let's say right now they're grabbing what I would call comic book strips,
Okay.
and they're putting realism into it with a comic book strip. And then let's say they put lettering on it. It's all these different styles mashed into one.
Okay.
So I'm gonna call it tattoo goulash.
I like that.
Yeah, tattoo goulash. I think I just made that up. I'll take 10% for that. Because you see all these guys like I don't want to mention names. I don't want to give them credit.
Yeah, no, go for it. Say the
no.
name.
No, because I don't want to give them credit. They're not that good.
Oh.
But it's just like, but there are guys who are really good at it. Like I don't want to say names, but there's one guy in Miami who's really good, and he's fucking amazing with it, to be honest. And he's grabbing comic book characters and putting realism behind it. So you'll have a portrait of your grandfather and then a little comic book strip of Popeye, because that's the cartoon that he likes.
Probably from the time.
And from what I see, this artist is amazing with it. It's very well done. I would have never thought to do that.
But you see,
You know?
even in that case, there is always an inclusion of traditional or something that it comes from the origin, all these styles where it's coming from.
I'm going to be honest, and this is me being hypocritical.
Okay.
Because if you ask me
Which
what
that's a
style-
regular Monday for
Yeah.
you. And just,
what style I like the least is the style that I used to do,
which is
traditional.
why you say that?
Because it wasn't
Why
so
you say that?
it wasn't so much the style that I dislike. It was the artists.
Yeah. Well, for example, in that case, there is one thing, when it comes to traditional, we know, like I explained before, that there is traditional American. Traditional American, it has the explosion that it tries during the Second War. When you start seeing all the eagles, the star, the flag, and
Anchors, yes.
the patriotism on the before 1930s, the traditional, pretty much the designs suck. Okay. Now, when it comes to what you were saying, there is a lot of people that just have dedicated the entire career to study the style, do the style properly. Because remember, traditional American, for example, due to the lack of colors, it was always done in primary colors. It was no shading with gray wash or anything like it, not even whites. Okay. There is tattoo artists that they decide to do traditional because they cannot do anything else.
Well, I was
Because
one of
they
those guys.
suck a color, they
No.
suck a shading,
I was
and
one
they
of those
suck a
guys,
outline.
and that's why I never called myself a tattoo artist. I always called myself a tattooer.
Uh-huh.
But it wasn't so much that. It was that when I came to Miami, every traditional artist was on his high horse and wouldn't take apprentices.
Now there is a lot of trends, and you guys just probably know better than me what are the trends now in tattooing. So what you think about it?
Well, I feel like the trends is kind of traditional is coming back. I feel also.
Why is that? Why you think it's coming back?
And
To
this-
me, it never left, but you say that it's coming back.
I feel like it is coming back again because it's like a nostalgia thing. And Y2K, everyone wants to like cater towards that, and they think it's like now everyone wants to wear Ed Hardy stuff again. When people were like, "Oh, that's gross," but now everyone wants to wear that again. Traditional is coming back. I really do, and they want to almost give a thank you to that and redo that. And that's why I also feel like Neotrad's hitting so hard too. Because it's just all those classic nostalgic tattoo designs you see, but with a new flair. Like I've seen people call it traditional now, like bubblegum pop traditional or something.
Bubblegum.
Yeah. So I feel
to
like...
me, that's the vape. Like, it tastes like bubblegum.
But you forgot the pop.
Yeah, you gotta get the
Unbelievable.
pop.
But you know, now that you mentioned Ed Hardy, for example, I don't know if you guys know, it's closing the shop because it's very, very, very fucked up with Alzheimer's. So one of the last ones, you know, just to be around, is going out of business. It cannot do anymore because he came out and news not long ago, probably I would say a week and a half ago. But when you say just is coming back, to me, in my personal opinion, I believe that he never left. He went a little bit on the side, covered by all these trends. Trends usually, remember, you need a medium to transmit the trends because you mentioned year 2K. I can tell you year 2K, we were super active in Miami tattooing, and the trend in that time, it was the tribal or the barbed wire with the armband. But you know how that trend transmitted? People seeing you on the street. Oh, where did you get that thing?
Yeah.
Oh, I went to the flea market. You know, I went to Chico. So that's the trend in that time. Now there is more massively the transmission of all those trends through social media. It happens instantly.
Yeah.
There is a lot of styles we were talking about before starting this ignorant style.
Yeah, it became a thing just because people on the internet kept posting, oh, look at me getting tattooed at this party, on a plane, in my house, all these things.
Whatever
That
can get the
includes
views.
this idiot that tattoos in a skateboard.
All of that.
That is
all of
ignorant
style. And it's, I don't even know how to explain it. I
It's
guess
a reaction.
It's the reaction
more
to everything.
That I can't believe you got this. It's almost so great that you got that because I can't believe you got it.
And ignorance is more about the experience that you went to get that tattoo than the actual tattoo itself.
Even when the tattoo sucks.
Yeah.
It's supposed to look bad.
It's not supposed to look good.
suck.
Yes.
It defies the criteria and the concepts why we are in this industry, I think. Chico, I don't know. What you think?
I think it's like getting your ex-girlfriend pregnant.
Oh, okay.
Like I don't
I'm
believe,
gonna need therapy.
I don't believe you did that. It's
podcast.
just wow, I did that. That's crazy. You know, but the
I can't
thing is,
believe that just is
the good
tattoo
thing is-
suck and it becomes a trend.
the good thing is, like you said, early 2000s.
Those were the times.
How many koi fish did you do in the early 2000s?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
that. Green Reapers,
Yeah.
flames,
But
skulls.
the thing
Tattoo have
was,
this
You said the
heavy
magic trick
metal
though.
thing, behind
You
that.
said the magic thing, and the magic thing was you saw it in the street. And you're
Exactly.
Like, oh, where'd you get that?
That was the trend.
So you saw it, but in the street it took longer to see.
Yeah.
So it took longer to fade. So fads and little gimmicks lasted longer back then. Now in the internet,
True.
things can last about 5 minutes. Because ignorant art came and left as quick as it came.
Because it was
A lot of ignorant art is meme related. It's people who are chronically online are getting ignorant art because they'll be like, oh my God, this new meme, with the 1,000-pound scissors TLC thing. People were getting her tattooed.
So it's like a one-hit wonder kind of thing,
Yes.
like a Whoppa Gangnam style. Just that's it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Psy only just put one song. So these series are doing just one tattoo and that's it.
Because as quickly as ignorant came into the picture, it's gone.
Yeah.
You don't see people getting ignorant tattoos anymore.
The same thing, Trash Polka came and left really quick.
But it's interesting when you mention trash polka because that is a style that was originated in Germany.
See, I thought it was Poland.
In Germany during the 50s after the war. It was no access to, for example, to print comics of the reality of Germany divided with the Russians on one side, the Allies on the other side. It was East and West.
Yes.
So it was no access to color inks to print comic books or anything. The only thing that it was is black and red. So it's taking the social background of that time and the darkness of those times that we never been during the Cold War, we never been so close to doomsday. The style comes from that. It was changed now, and I see a lot of things that just are unrelated with the origin of the style. So we were talking about now social media and how it can set, for example, like a 1 week trend with ignorant style. Social media is working good for us, or it's not working at all when it comes to styles and trends? What do you guys think? What a question. Look at you. I got you, three of you thinking, like scratching your head. Like
I don't know
this.
if it's good or bad, but it does work. I think if it's your style or a style that you can adapt to quickly, it benefits you. But if it's not your style, I guess it discourages you because it's like, this stupid style is out and people aren't getting what I get, or people aren't getting what I do. I don't understand why that style is better than this style.
Because in a personal, I always think, like, for example, I can publish a picture of a tattoo that I just did last week. Okay, so people can see what I do. I'm not gonna get not even one call that I say, like, just, you know what, that's exactly what I wanted to get, or it doesn't bring me anything.
That's because you're not The Rock.
Okay, you're absolutely right.
Absolutely, because think about it. How many?
Well, I'm bald too. But
how many Polynesians
I'm not Hawaiian.
tattoos did you do before The Rock got that piece on his chest? A couple.
Yeah.
And then how many did we do after? Where the guy would come in and
You're
goes, I want
absolutely
that.
right.
It's not so much the style. I think it's the hype around the style.
I think it's offensive in a way for dinosaurs like us that social media is gonna dictate the trends, you know, and again, like I say, just working in a way that just is creating social media these sub-styles like ignorant style, you know, because if we go chronologically, there is a way that we can, and in times we can describe the trends of how the styles were changing. You up for the challenge?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Like start.
Let's start with traditional American from the Second War till the 70s, with after Sailor Jerry died in 1973. From there and up.
I guess after there, Flash took over.
Flash. Okay.
Flash
Can you
took
explain for the one that are looking this?
Flash is Pinterest on paper.
Flash is like...
That's literally
Okay,
perfect.
wait a second.
like-
Man.
I always thought that it's this guy that run very fast. Isn't that Flash?
Yeah, that's another guy though.
Okay.
It depends what universe.
So what is Flash?
Flash is designs that were sold to artists so they could put in their walls in these windows that we call flash racks. And you would come in and say, I want that one. And then you would tell the tattoo artist, can I get it in pink? And the tattoo artist would look at you with his biker grin and go, it's the way it is. I don't change the Flash.
Flash.
You know what I'm
The
saying?
time of the Flash.
And then after that, Flash got developed into several different ways.
For example?
For example, Flash got categorized as West Coast Flash.
There you go. That's when the styles start kind of...
So
what was that? That's time.
I guess it was more like a Boog
Okay.
and Little Chris. I know I'm going to get slack for saying that name. Little Chris, people don't even know who he is, but he had a lot to do with that style in those days. But that came from a lot of different people. Lowrider Tattoo, Jose Lopez.
That's what I was going to say. A big
you know,
Mexican influence on the
yeah,
West Coast.
there's a
when it
lot of
comes
those
to the
dudes.
Cholo style.
And then people like Judy Parker opened it up to something totally
I got
different.
a sad news to tell you.
I know.
You know
Yeah.
that Cherry Craigie died
Yeah.
like a week ago.
Mhm.
We all make a
Yeah.
ton of money
Yeah,
with the Flash. from
those
Cherry
were
Craigie.
the ones who opened the door. This is why I kind of laugh, and you know it gets me almost angry. But people want to give certain names all the credit, but then there was a lot of names that don't get mentioned.
Yeah.
You know, like Jack Rudy.
Jack Rudy.
Like Judy Parker. Ivino, if I'm saying his name right. And
Judy
and
Parker. That's
there's-
Flash.
the Flash was amazing for that time. Maybe they would shit on it now.
Yeah.
But everything has its beginning, everything has its origin, everything has its birth.
Because remember that we're talking from a time that there was no Procreate, no tablets, you need to draw.
Yeah.
You have to paint the flash, draw the flash, paint the flash. And it wasn't like it is now. Now it's kind of pretty easy.
Well, yeah, because people don't realize that they come in with their phone and say, can you do something like this? And 80% of the work is done already. Like, artists may tell me, no, it's not. I still have to do it. The whole idea is there. These people would come with an idea in their head and they would explain it to you verbally. And verbally, now you had to put that on paper.
Compared to the times that you go to the shop and say, I want that.
Yeah.
That's it.
Mm-hmm. Flash was everything.
Your opinion,
Yeah.
it start and die right there. Just the rest, it was the artistry or the tattoo artistry.
Now it's worse. People don't just bring in a picture off of the internet. They bring an AI reference that they go to ChatGPT and they're like, I want a lion with
the first thing you gotta do is
dragon-
check to make sure it has 5 fingers and not less or more.
And at least 2 eyes, the
At
nose
least.
isn't crooked.
Yeah. I mean,
but AI is a reference
according to
now.
the Terminator movie, the AI it became self-aware in October 29, 2024. I don't know if you guys remember the movie. So we're pretty fucked with the AI already. So if it's gonna happen like the movie, we're doomed. But artificial intelligence to get designs. So I was hating Pinterest before, but now I'm gonna hate this thing too. Can you explain more about it?
Pinterest, it was like, okay, like, let's do the little rows, let's do the little symbols, who cares, whatever.
For the small tattoos,
For the little small tattoos.
trendy
And
tattoos.
then people would also bring in like, oh, there's this whole sleeve with like the lion, the clock, and the rose, which that ended up being a trend for the longest time. And if it wasn't the lion, the clock, and the rose, it was like the tiger. And that was a
Wolf
trend.
with the blue eyes.
The wolf with the blue eyes, looking at its reflection as a
break.
puppy.
It was an Aryan wolf from
To
the
This represents
woods
my
of
father.
Austria.
To me,
But-
the Flash, I'm sorry, the Pinterest. You know what Pinterest was? Bullseye Flash.
Yeah.
Wow.
Remember Bullseye?
Yeah.
Where they had all the little pictures.
Yeah.
And you would say, okay, I'm doing these for $50.
So, do you know the EBA? Because I see we have such a large amount of bullshit to discuss about the trends. But we started doing some chronological follow-up how these Flash designs are changing. And we reached till, I guess, probably 1980s, 2000? We were talking about 2000. You want to go a little bit?
Even the Flash went evolving. And then when we hit 2000s, I'm going to say in 2002, 2003, I saw a couple of what they called custom shops.
Okay.
Which to me, a custom shop was a bike shop. You know what I'm saying? But
Okay.
when you saw custom, it was like, what does he mean custom?
What it means?
And basically, these guys were doing their own art.
No flash in the wall.
No flash on the wall. You would go to them because you liked their art style.
Okay.
Now, how these guys did it back then with no social media to put their art out there.
Could you name somebody locally? No, let's talk about Miami because anybody that you can remember from that time, I don't remember anybody from that time in Miami.
There was a dude in Fort Lauderdale, and I don't remember his name, and it's sad because I don't remember his name. I don't remember his name. I'm so bad with names.
But it was at
yeah,
least
there-
somebody
no,
down
there-
here in Florida.
In Florida, there was a couple. There was a couple of dudes
Okay.
doing custom artwork, and you would walk into their studio, and their studio was really weird. Not what we were used to. You walk into a traditional tattoo shop, and the first thing you see is a counter. And the counter, they had jewelry and stuff. Stuff could range from rolling paper to, I don't know,
Like
knives,
a smoke
to,
shop
So yeah,
kind of thing.
it's
Paraphernalia.
anything.
Yeah.
Okay. And then next to that, they usually had 1, 2, or 3 flash racks or flash all over the wall. And that was a tattoo shop. When you walk into this
Sorry
guy's
to
shop.
interrupt you, but remember that early 2000s, we were doing biomechanics left to
Oh,
right.
yeah, we were.
Okay,
But we
in
were
a flash shop.
But we were like one of the only ones doing
The
it,
only ones in that time.
you know, because we didn't even have anybody to look at.
True.
We had no reference work.
True.
That was all year from your head.
But that's, in a way, like we were breaking the year 2K designs of the Green Reaper, the skulls, the flames, the barbed wire, and the tribal.
I think the same reason we were doing it is the reason they were doing it. We got tired.
True.
We were bored of doing the same shit. This gentleman could close his eyes, and on a napkin while we were having beers, he would draw a traditional rose with his eyes closed.
That's not true. I never drink alcohol in my life.
So while he was sipping on it, he would draw a traditional rose and then give it to the bartender. But what you call it? I think her name was Jill.
I have a stupid question.
Go ahead.
Where did you guys pull reference?
Oh, that's a great
Because
story.
at least now I have the
I
internet
can tell
to pull
you from
references.
where.
What books?
Yeah, that's something.
It was one book and several visits to Kinko's. Probably you guys have no idea where it's
No, yeah.
Kinko's.
I know what Kinko's is.
Okay, we used to go with Spalding and Rogers' book, and those little in the catalog
The little
designs.
squares.
Try to blow it until the pixels exploded.
If you do it
and
exactly
create
at
a whole new
400%,
universe.
if you do it exactly 400%, you get an 8.5 by 10.5 full sheet of that. And then we used to laminate that and put that on the wall.
Yeah.
Because I asked because the new age now is like you just go on the internet, but back then
Tattoo magazines. The
Yeah.
Tattoo
Yeah,
magazine.
there was an Italian magazine.
Easy
that was real
Rider
good.
magazine.
Or the famous library.
the
There you
famous
go.
library.
The famous
to get
library.
animals,
Mhm.
it was perfect.
If somebody told you, I want a wolf, but I don't want any wolf. I want, I don't know, I'm making up a name. Nobody correct me, please. An Alaskan gray wolf. I don't even know if that exists. You're like, what the fuck is an Alaskan gray wolf?
Library.
So you had to go to the library with a bag of dimes.
Bag of dimes.
Yeah. I'll tell you why you need the dimes, but you needed a bag of these motherfuckers.
Mhm.
All right. And then you used to get it and say, oh, look, there is an an Alaskan gray wolf.
Are you listening to these? No?
And then you used to put it on the photograph machine, not on the photocopy machine
Photocopy.
that only did black and white. There was
Yeah.
no such thing as
Mhm.
color. And you would have to press it down because if you didn't, the light would go in and you would get
The
nothing but a
book,
blank.
yeah.
Crease of the book.
It was half black, completely burned.
And then
a
you got
little
to
bit
put
of
your
the wolf.
dime in
Yeah.
and then look. That was no
Amazing.
good. And then move it around and then squish it or tell him, Gabe, sit on it. And then Gabe would sit on it and then you put the dime on it. Yeah, this one came out good. And you couldn't go alone. Then you had to go home.
Those were the references.
But wait, this is
Yeah.
the good part. Then you had to go home and you didn't go onto Keim to order your needles because there was none.
Mhm.
You would have to solder your own needles.
Mm-hmm.
So now you soldered your own needles and now you have the reference, you have the needles you need to do everything. And then the customer would come in, you size it to his arm, and then he'd tell you, did you see that tribal? And now you
So
had to
your
switch
wolf,
everything up.
yeah,
Your
you
wolf
went
went
to
to hell,
shit.
And now you
You
had to
visit to
fucking
the library, went
grab
to
those
shit.
needles, put them back away because you cracked them open. Now you had to re-sterilize
Yeah.
them. Yeah, no.
So those were the references. But again, styles, I would say like a probably just, I don't know if you guys agree, until probably late 90s, early 2000s, there is no definition of styles. You do a little bit of everything. Whatever we today could be called realism, it was the wolf that you mentioned from the library. So the definition of styles, like as we know it today, didn't exist back in the day. You just do whatever the fuck you have to do.
And then if you got lucky enough, you'd go to the library, which Amazon didn't sell everything back then. They just sold books.
True.
That's all Amazon sold
didn't
was
know that.
books. Mhm. I should have bought stock back then. But when they only sold books, they had a line of tattoo magazines that you could order. So
Yeah.
we would order them.
The tattoo magazines were always a reference because you used to copy.
And the first guy
And-
that we saw doing realism that was beyond compare, and maybe I'm saying this all wrong, but to my experience was Tom Renshaw.
Yeah.
I know that name.
Tom Renshaw
Yeah.
was amazing. Then came Shane O'Neill, then came Bob Tyrell,
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Yeah. For example, we mentioned before like a new school.
Mhm.
It was Dave Loom in Texas doing an amazing. It's the one that started to do like the traditional, but with a lot of colors, thick lines, uneven the lines, thicker in some parts, thinner in other ones. That's kind of like the beginning also of what we know today as a new school or neo-traditional. Neo-traditional today is like a what? It has like a lot of gray and
I
some.
think, but now there's so
colors.
many sub-references of styles.
Back to bubblegum trad.
Yeah.
Bubblegum. There you go, the bubblegum team. It's just
Because now new school isn't just new school.
It's anime.
It's a whole bunch of stuff. You see,
What-
let's talk about anime.
no.
Anime is something.
What is that?
Anime,
Is a style?
Well, no, anime it's
Literally
short
just
for
the anime.
animation, but anime is typically like
Japanese.
Japanese of origin.
So that means that if you reproduce any tattoo based on an anime, you do an anime style.
Yeah, like
Basically,
Basically.
Walt Disney, but Japanese.
So, okay, but help me out to understand this. Reproducing something has become a style. That's how it's called. You call the style the same. If you're doing reproducing, like I say, anime, because anime to me is the movie Akira, that it was the most
Akira-
expensive movie ever made during the early 90s. And to me, that was anime in that time.
If you took Akira's like anime, like the art style, and you put it on someone, you did an anime tattoo.
So it has become a style. Then.
It has become
okay.
a style.
Okay.
And it's something that like has kind of been a mass trend.
Well, no, it's not a trend anymore. I was the first one who was gonna say it's a trend.
I was getting all excited with this.
It was a
shit on
trend, but
anime,
now
and
it's
not
a
a
style.
anymore.
It's not going anywhere.
It started as a trend.
I'm really
So let me understand this. If I get like for example, a Pikachu.
Pokemon. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
With thick lines and yellow, I think it is, no?
Yeah, it's not traditional.
Pardon my ignorance. That is called anime?
Yeah, it's not traditional. Even though you just did a traditional tattoo, it's
Exactly.
You can
I'm
make it look-
confused. I'm
You
gonna
can
need
make
therapy
it look
after
a little
this.
traditional-esque. You could also draw the anime like a little different. Like
How
Moony has
that
her
will
own
be?
style.
because there is American traditional anime tattoos.
Yeah.
I've seen
Like a
people draw it.
Felix the cat.
No.
No.
Felix the cat would usually be like
Felix the cat.
It's not
Felix
the
cat.
anime or the
But I'm saying like someone took
the time, the
Akira
1930s.
and they made like a pinup.
Yes.
Mickey Mouse.
You see,
It's not anime. We say Disney.
Let me explain it to you so you understand.
That's anime.
The weebs took over. Okay?
Look
the
at him
weebs.
using his new word.
The
Yeah,
guys
my
that you
new
were
word.
talking.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
the dweebs. The weebs. I thought they were
Okay,
dweebs,
not the
but they're
nerds.
weebs. No, the nerds.
She said that they're tech savvy. The
Yeah,
nerds.
no, the geeks are
Geeks.
tech
Kids,
savvy.
there you go.
Yeah.
You see, I was listening, but I was half
All
asleep.
right,
So-
everything.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
what happened was what we used to call cartoon style.
Okay,
Okay,
that now it's anime.
not necessarily because
Okay,
Cartoons separate.
animes are racist.
I need a Xanax right now.
Yeah, no, animes are racist. If it's not
Why?
Japanese, it's not anime. Because if you do a Mickey Mouse,
It's
even
not
though
anime.
it's animation,
Yeah.
no, the weebs say no, that's not part of our stuff. You can keep
It's
that.
like Japanese traditional, American traditional.
It's
It's separate.
You see these animes.
Okay, I'm having such a brain fart right now that just I really, really want to quit tattooing and just I don't know.
It's how can I say
Well, what is
gentrification
this?
of the style.
Okay, so reproducing a cartoon, it doesn't put that in the category of anime.
No.
no.
It
When
has
you-
to be Japanese style.
Japanese.
like
This style exists in Japan
Anime. Yes, it's
Yeah.
all Japanese animation.
because the only thing that I pero as a tattoo.
well in
Well,
I can't speak
because
for
the only thing that I
Japan.
see coming from Japan is traditional
Yeah.
American.
Yes.
But
Sorry.
everyone who's here
Well, you
likes-
understand that Americans get everything that's kind of Japanese and Oriental and Chinese and Asian.
Well, don't make me feel bad that I have a koi fish in my arm.
I got
now,
one in my
which is-
leg. But the thing is, so Japanese people get American stuff. It's a switch of the culture.
Yeah.
It's an unwritten law.
Okay. Okay. So we started with traditional American during the war. After that, it just till the year 2000 when we start seeing some West Coast Chicano influences and the designs with the lettering, the shading, the black and gray that it comes from the prison system of California, where they have a big population of Mexican people, and in the prison system, remember, you have no access to color. So everything, all the shading and the lettering and just the clown, the laugh now, cry later, all that, it comes from that style. Year 2000, the Flaming Skull, the Green Reaper, Barbed Wire, and Tribals.
Tribals.
Or what else after that?
I'm gonna say that's when New School hit.
What that will be new school? What is new school is doing the old, but now?
Caricatures.
New school is
New
more
School
like
is disproportionate.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of rules in
Okay.
it because you're
Disproportion, which
you break the
Big head, little
proportions.
okay.
But it has
But
to be
you
still
still
correct.
you have to still keep like you can't just make a big head with tiny eyes. I mean you could.
Dave Loom, Texas,
He was good.
1990s.
But was he New School or was he neo-traditional?
It was this proportion in the designs.
Okay.
with the perspective, the shape, the outline, using a lot of color. So that we could call it new school.
Yeah.
Okay. Which it takes a little bit of traditional elements, but it just with this proportion.
And then you had other guys.
For example.
But you see, I can't say other guys. You had one other guy,
Okay.
Mike Chambers.
Okay.
That to me, he was an
I was gonna
amazing.
take my hat off, but just I didn't shave my head today. But just,
He's an amazing traditional artist who's non-traditional.
that makes sense.
To me, he is the most non-traditional traditional artist, but he's amazing.
Because I guess like
He has
just
his own
in
style.
a way like the origin of tattooing.
Everything's
It
traditional.
was to make a statement when it is traditional.
Mhm.
The statement it was the flag, the eagle, the lightning bolt. Or now it's like you were saying before, the lion with the clock and the compass in case you choose your GPS doesn't work.
It's funny,
You
but
know where the fuck
it's
you go.
it's funny because Flash left the shops.
There you go. That I think that's significant that he opens the door to all this shit.
Flash, but you see, this is the funny part. Flash left the shops.
Uh-huh.
And everybody deemed themselves a custom shop because that's what everybody wanted to do. It's like appointments now. There's no walk-ins anymore because people want to feel significant, like they have an appointment. Oh, I have an appointment. My shop is appointment only.
Or a consultation.
You know,
like if you're
which-
gonna get a nose job.
Yeah, I don't understand the consultation
Yeah.
part either. But whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it all left. But it left the shop, but it never left the industry. Because it's
True.
still here. It's in the form of Pinterest. It's in the form of what was the other one called? I forgot what it's called. Something art.
DeviantArt?
Deviant art. It's in the form of so many
Yeah.
things where you just Google something.
Uh-huh.
And if you Google something, you're gonna get 100 pictures. But the first 20 are always the same.
Mm.
People have no patience. After 15 photos, it all starts looking alike anyway. So they pick within the first 20. So what does that do? That means that out of 300 people that wanted lions,
Yeah.
Yeah, the
a
exact
grand
same.
majority are coming with the same fucking lion. So if your tattoo artist does nothing to alter this lion, have you done permanent makeup?
Plenty of times.
Okay. Have you ever had to go 100 times to retouch it?
All the time.
Hmm?
All the time. Retouching.
Yeah.
All the time.
But why?
Because the skin of the face, it doesn't take colors very well.
And
There is-
because you don't go in as
and
deep.
you don't go. That's what I was gonna say. For example, like
So
when you do
my thing is-
micrograding.
To me,
Oh,
fine line
thunder.
came.
Just because we're talking about
Yeah.
fine line.
The fine line, the fine line fuckery is showing through the window.
To me, fine line came into play when permanent makeup artists started doing tattoos.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a good
That's
point.
a touchy subject.
Because they don't penetrate like we penetrate.
Well,
they don't
according
go
to
as
the
deep
state
as
of
this.
Florida.
It
They
sounds
have,
bad no matter what I
according to the
say.
state of Florida, they have the license already because
Yeah.
they
of
need a
course.
tattoo artist license to
Yeah.
do permanent
But they
makeup.
had
So.
they had dainty machines. This is where the pen comes in.
Oh,
Okay.
that makes a lot of sense. Shitty machines. The permanent makeup machine we know is shitty, shitty as fuck.
It's
So
the permanent makeup, and I'm sorry, but the permanent makeup industry isn't to make women beautiful. It's to make money.
yeah.
Because honestly, if you go in with a 9 round,
But don't keep saying that because I need to keep selling classes for permanent
it's okay.
makeup. So you
I
have-
mean,
yeah.
no problem. I'm doing
But-
a set of eyebrows when I leave
So,
here.
according
it's-
to what you're saying, we could say that just fine line is an anomaly just coming out of permanent makeup tattoo artists that they start doing tattoos, they do so shitty with the shitty machines. And the single needle cartridge being used to do ombre brows,
Mhm.
and that's what it's coming from?
Yeah.
If you think about
Wow.
it, who were the first ones doing it?
Oh, I'm having an epiphany right now.
Mhm.
Wow.
I mean, that's just my.
So now I hate it even more.
I mean, I don't hate it because it's more cover-ups.
It's a mutation. It's,
You know, so now I
have a
either get
cover-up of one.
to trace over it with a 9 round and
it's
keep
a
this
mutation
undesigned.
between permanent makeup and tattooing.
Mhm.
I've had and fine line comes into terms with like tattoos in places that you shouldn't really be getting tattooed. Finger tattoos. The all these girls want these dainty 3-round liner finger tattoos, but you tell them it's gonna fade
But you know
and they
you're
don't
onto
hear
something. What is the name of this company that was doing the tattoos that they last only 2-3 years.
That's a new thing now too.
Oh yeah.
Well,
I
the
forgot.
company went bankrupt.
Oh, they're gone
Yeah.
now?
Yeah, they disappear already.
Like
So-
the tattoos.
But it was a company doing these tattoos that they
Yeah.
disappear according with the
I had a client who had one of those, and I saw the tattoo didn't disappear.
It doesn't fully go away.
It doesn't fully go away. It just looks like a little gray hue.
It fades
that's-
because they're not using proper ink and they're not going in deep enough.
So even not only the styles and the trends have changed, but also the criteria of the customer just to know that before the tattoo, like I say, it was a life sentence. It was permanent for the rest of your life. So now the customer decides they want something but are not permanent.
Well, now,
You shouldn't get tattooed.
absolutely, but you got to understand that
Fuck off.
life
You
is
know,
about
don't
choices.
get tattooed.
No, life is about choices. So the fact that they have a choice, there's non-permanent ink.
Yeah.
Okay, just let me.
I don't know how.
It doesn't last.
I haven't looked into it because I
It's
do
like
permanent
henna or
tattoos.
something?
Yeah.
But there's non-permanent ink where you could tattoo somebody and
And
the
it
ink
leaves.
is gonna fade away.
Wow.
That.
Those are the
Ephemeral.
What'd you call me?
it sounds like pixie dust, like some kind of
But they,
fairy.
my client had
Covenant
that
shit.
type of
Yes.
tattoo. They had an ephemeral tattoo on their back, and she's like, "Well, it faded, but
What's it called? Enfermo tattoo?
I just said it. And I forgot the
Methamphetamine?
word.
The thing is, like, just do we know?
Enfermo.
Yeah.
Do we know that because that also brings the case of realism?
Mhm.
Okay, I have seen some realism tattoos after 2 or 3 years that really they look like shit. Okay,
But I
and
think
one of
that's-
the main reasons.
I think that's more the artist than the actual piece.
Well,
Yeah.
there is a scientific fact. There is the outline. The outline is the frame for the white cells to retain the pigment during the time in a better way. When there is no outline,
There's no
usually in
frame, yeah.
cases of realism, there is no frame, so the pigment keep expanding under the skin and being eliminated as a toxin by the white cells. So isn't that like just also too derivated of all this fine line? I want something now, but I don't know if I'm gonna want it 5 years
don't know.
from now.
I've
so I
seen-
hope it disappears.
I've seen black and gray last the test of time in portrait work.
Okay.
A fine line, we're probably being a little bit more harsh because we're using our experience rather than actual.
Okay.
Because fine line hasn't been around for 10 years, so we really can't judge it.
We can name like give it some time allocation to fine line like what 5
To me,
years?
it's only been 3 or 4 years.
No more
realistically.
than that.
To me, I mean, it could have been around for centuries, but I didn't see it until
no,
3-4 years ago.
I doubt it. The
So-
tattoo was always permanent. The earliest evidence with Ozzy, the Iceman,
But you
is
know,
3,500 years ago. So
we just have experience and we know, like, the guy finishes the tattoo, the girl finishes the tattoo, and go, that line isn't gonna last. We already know. You understand what I'm saying? So we're assuming that it's the same thing. But honestly, to me, fine line is because they're not going in deep enough because they don't have the experience.
imagine, like I said,
You know?
the Ozzy, the Iceman, if it was found today with fine line tattoos, we didn't have any evidence of tattoos done
But I'll be
3,500
honest
years
with
ago.
you,
It would disappear.
these needles now are like ridiculous.
Yeah.
I saw a needle that was a 5 round,
Okay.
and the diameter
It was 10.
was more of a 3 round,
Okay.
3 round bug pin.
Okay.
So if they were to do fine line with that, I could see it lasting. I don't know if it's gonna blow out with time, but I could see it lasting.
And do you think like just
So-
the people doing these trends, they know about all the technicalities involved? For example, like just probably
Look, that's
in the needle and the
that's gonna be on a artist basis.
Okay.
There are artists who probably are doing fine line and are doing a damn good job of it, but because the majority, the masses are asses.
okay.
The
look,
masses are doing it wrong.
fine line is taking a lot of time, and it has fine line. We know that it has a tendency to disappear. So let's disappear fucking fine line out of this conversation. It's faded already. Okay, I hate it. I don't like it. Another style like that just have like a time, and I don't know if you guys gonna agree or not, but you can expand the idea. Watercolors. What about that shit?
Damn, I like watercolors.
No, come on.
I like it and don't like it.
Okay, why? Why is that division?
I like it because there are some artists who have taken watercolor, and they made it not just splashing every single color you have in your palette behind the line work.
Okay.
There are people who like there's an artist who like they'll do anime tattoos, they'll do like Disney tattoos and all these other tattoos, but the way that they tattoo it, it makes it look like someone did a watercolor painting of that tattoo onto your skin. That I like.
Okay.
But when you do the literal splash of like, okay, let's put red, let's put blue, let's put every single color behind an outline of a rose, of a dove, anything, it feels, doesn't feel like watercolor.
Yeah, it feels artificial.
Do you think that specific style resists time in an elegant way, or it looks like shit after 2 years?
I would say
It depends.
It depends. There's no outline to it, so eventually some of the colors are gonna fade. I have yellow on my skin,
But if you do it-
it's gone.
The thing is, the best watercolor I saw was on a Galaxy piece.
Really?
I don't know who the artist was, and I wish I knew your name so I could give you all the props you deserve.
Wow.
But it was a Galaxy piece, and they did watercolor, and it had a black background. That's solid. It ain't going nowhere.
And we can say like it was watercolor because you guys paint, and when you paint with watercolors,
It fades.
the dilution of the color with the water, it creates the effect of the. So that effect in tattoo is exactly the same, or we just calling watercolors the way to reproduce, like for example, like I just said, dropping some ink in the skin, and that is called watercolor. So we. Can you explain?
Unfortunately, anything that looks like a splash is a watercolor, even though it's not watercolor looking.
Okay.
It could be a solid color, and they're
You
going to call
see?
it watercolor.
So it could be so
Yeah.
there is some confusion also too with that style. Like we talked before about trash polka.
But then again, there might be people who are really into watercolor who will tell me, no, you're wrong, Chico. Those are what people call watercolor, but it's not watercolor. Unfortunately, there's no solid line dividing
so the client,
everything.
I'm pretty sure that is watercolor.
To
Maybe
me,
it's
that
an
was-
artist. Not.
Yeah, it's a style. Like for example, who used that style? Watercolors.
Hector.
Yeah.
No, not as a tattoo artist. But as a, can you guys name, for example, like just what? Punk rockers, skaters, bikers. Because I can
Ladies.
tell you, I have seen only that color in recently divorced MILF from anything between 40s and 45, 46.
say soccer moms.
Well, look, we got it with a different set of words. So
I was just going to go ladies.
outside that group of people, anybody else use that style?
I have a watercolor piece.
Bullshit, you lower, but
Yeah.
sexy.
Oh,
Guys, keep it PG.
No?
Come on.
Well, who else? I don't know.
That's really
Fine line. We can define who are the users of fine line. Pretty much females, I
it's the
believe.
majority of a female.
I would say
99.9%.
I would say a younger percent too, like kind of
Yes, that early 20s.
early 20s,
Okay.
Yeah,
maybe
guys are getting
early
into-
30s.
Really?
Yeah, guys are getting constellations.
Anime. Who is outside the
Anyone.
Anybody.
anyone?
That's everyone. It's a nostalgia.
He can get an anime tattoo.
I wouldn't.
Would.
But
You would?
Okay.
I wouldn't. I don't have any. I wouldn't.
Oh.
But I think it's people under 30.
Okay.
No,
No,
Yeah, I
it's,
think so.
There's 30.
no. I would say
Yeah.
at least into your 40s, you're getting anime tattoos.
I tattoo a lot of bikers. I don't do anime. in any
I
of
do
them,
a lot of
so-
anime, and I've had
on
clients
bikers.
not on bikers.
Yeah. So
Military.
really,
Military.
I have done
I
military
think we're gonna
anime
lose
tattoos.
World War III already.
I've had so many military guys want to get my little Hello Kitty designs.
Okay.
And-
You talking about males?
Males.
Yes.
I've done
Yes.
Final
I
Fantasy.
did Hello Kitty band-aids on this guy's hands.
But
I
they're-
reserve my opinion about this subject.
But they're Navy now.
World War III, we know already who's gonna win, and it's not gonna be us already. Okay, armed forces with Hello Kitty tattoos.
What's wrong with Hello Kitty?
Nothing wrong, but it's just to me, somebody that is from the armed forces, it's just you give the kind of like
I've seen
especially if
these
it's a
really
male.
burly ass tough dudes, and they're like, "That Hamtaro, I need it."
I know, and then they got on Grindr right after. But it's like,
I'm totally ready to switch and let you sit here because to me that it puts the end to any other idea that I could have about styles. But okay, I'm really I need to think about it and do some therapy about that because what else? What other style? Like just you have like all these weird things behind males in the Air Force
Just
getting
Kawaii style.
Which one?
Kawaii style.
Hawaiian?
Kawaii.
Cool.
It's Japanese for
Kawaii
cute.
from
No.
Saddam?
Like Japanese.
There is
cute.
no style there. Saddam is there.
No, kawaii is
Oh.
Japanese for cute, and it's essentially you could take Pyramid Head
But wouldn't
and
that
you
be
put
anime?
pink. No,
I
it's
always
not
consider
anime.
it
So is that a style already?
I have seen horror icons like Michael Myers,
Uh-huh.
Freddy Krueger,
So if you put a
Pyramid
Like
Head,
cute
and you
horror.
put pink and sparkles and glitter,
That's literally
and
what I'm doing.
that is a kawaii style. But you don't do it in that way.
Yeah, no, I'm not too cutesy.
You're not too cute.
You
You
know,
still
Are
have
you
a little bit of gore
cutesy
to it.
or you're cutesy like me?
only in the thong.
Or you're not cutesy like me?
No,
OnlyFans?
only the thong.
Only flans.
Oh, did my OnlyFans, but that's different.
Okay,
Which
let me
one?
ask- I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I forgot about that sparkle style.
Well, yeah, I'm thinking
Oh, the
about being
sparkles?
cutesy, and then the next time that I'm tattooing my regulars. But what about patchwork? How you call it? Patchwork?
Patchwork, yeah.
Yeah.
That
it's-
is a tattoo that it looks. Let me understand this. It looks like a.
like it's sewn.
Wait,
Okay.
Oh wait, are we talking about like filling the gaps in a sleeve, or
that's-
it
ladies,
looks like a patch?
I'm
No,
just.
no.
I'm
It
working
looks like
here.
a patch.
I'm asking you because I
Okay.
don't know shit about it. I want to know.
Because to me, patchwork is you have a sleeve and you have a bunch of gaps, and you're just trying to fill the patches that you have
It's
left.
usually a lot of small pieces.
Uh-huh.
just
But if you're
filling up
talking
the
about,
arm.
like-
But the tattoos that they look like
he's
an
talking about
embroidery
embroidery
patch.
like
a literal patch.
How you
embroidery
call
and
that
the sticker
style?
ones. I wouldn't call it. I would call
and-
that a sticker tattoo, a patch tattoo.
yeah.
Patch tattoo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or like you said, embroidery.
Is
But
that a style?
it's kind of a trend right now. But
I think it's
don't.
more of a
Trends.
niche.
It
than
is
a-
niche.
Than a really like. I don't see many people coming into the shop.
I
wanting that.
see people get more sticker looking tattoos.
Yeah.
Than
But I'll be honest,
The
there's not a lot of
embroidery-
people doing embroidery.
no.
No.
There's
So,
only a
bro-
few people that are doing it.
Guys, it just help me understand this. When we're talking about styles, and we're talking about trends, I think like it just is such a blurry, division between them because some things like that are trends.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's a style.
Mm-hmm.
A style is something that is gonna just last. Traditional American, let's say. That's
Yeah.
a style.
That is
Okay. So can you explain to me what's the difference between a trend? Trend to me, it sounds something that is imposed by social media in this case, and it's momentary. It's like a side with Gangnam Style. One song, that's it.
That's it.
Okay.
I think a trend would be like when you see a tattoo, like you can tell what age they were.
Yeah.
Like the flames on the wrist going up. Like tell me
I
how old
like
you
that.
are.
Oh man.
Or the
What
trans-
tells you
Without
that?
telling me. Huh?
What tells you that? The flames and the
Like
wrist.
I know that you're probably like more in your 40s. That's like of that
Ouch.
time. That's like not a lot of more. This generation is getting that, and it's nothing to shit
Put
on
my
it.
arms under the
But
table.
it's the same thing.
I
Like,
don't want you to profile me. That's not right.
But if you have like a lot of fine line tattoos or cyber sigilism, I know that you're probably
Whoa,
within
whoa,
this
whoa,
age.
Oh,
whoa,
cyber
whoa.
symbolism. You're gonna wreck your brains now.
So
What
it's
is that?
It's edgy tribal.
It is edgy tribal.
And how you call it?
Cyber sigilism.
What's that? That fucked up tribal thing?
Yes.
Yes.
Paul.
So you know like
I'm done.
Venom. You know Venom, like from like Marvel and stuff like that. You know
Yeah.
the symbiote, how it looks like.
Okay.
That's cyber sigilism. Imagine that, but like on your body, like a little blob.
I really love the information, but my head refused to imagine that as a tattoo style because
It's popular, and you can tell when there's just a certain demographic that you know that's getting that. Like it's just like the flames, like that's of that time. And I don't think that's gonna go forever.
okay.
So I don't think like 10 years from now, people are still gonna be.
I
getting
appreciate you
cyber
profiling me through my tattoos and how old I am. So what I'm gonna do is just I'm gonna let Paul continue with the tattoo style thing because now I'm thinking about the cyber.
sigilism.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick. Paul.
Okay.
Oh, thank you. Just cyber, whatever. Just finish it.
That was great. You guys are a lot of fun.
How you doing?
I'm great.
Okay.
Thanks for joining that conversation, letting Gabe lead it. It was and leave it. It was
I guess
really,
it's
really
fun.
enjoyable.
Yeah.
That was so enjoyable.
Lead it.
Thank you. So I want to thank again Allie and Chico and Moony for joining us. And we're here in Miami, and we'll be back again another time. Thank you for joining the podcast, Think Different, where you learn how to access, survive, and thrive in the tattoo industry and have fun conversations about the styles and where they're going. That was so
Yes.
enjoyable. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you for
See you
having me.
next time. Happy tattooing.
Remember, if you like what we do, follow, share, and subscribe.
And if you really like what